Texas now. So we're joined here on the show by Jacob Davis with the TJC Theatre Department. We're talking about their upcoming production of Legally Blonde. Jacob, good morning.
Morning.
How you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing very well. Thanks for asking. Welcome to the show, by the way. First time here?
No, this is the second time.
All right. Well, we're talking about, of course, one of my favorite shows in terms of stage productions, Legally Blonde. It's based on, the movie we're all familiar with, Reese Witherspoon and Selma Blair, I believe. So talk about just, first of all, talk about your production of this particular show.
All right. Well, yes. So TJC, naturally, our goal is to educate and further students in the performing arts. And so in approaching that, giving exposure to kids, first time performing in front of a live orchestra with a live orchestra there and full lighting, sound, production quality. A lot of these students just coming to college has never done production on that scale. So that's kind of our baseline of giving that opportunity for students. This is a little bit different this time. Typically, we have about 6 weeks to put on productions. We did this in about 4.5 weeks. Oh. So we've kind of truncated our normal rehearsal schedule.
Okay, so now I will say I've got some experience with some firsthand experience with Legally Blonde as a stage production, and it's a really big show.
It really is.
Very big, lots of numbers, lots of different sets and transitions and things. So talk about, well, we're getting ahead of ourselves. So talk about the show itself and the story for the unfamiliar, what the story is actually about.
Yeah, so if you haven't seen the movie, I mean, kind of at the heart of Legally Blonde is this girl that is really kind of focused on her appearance and kind of her social standing. And she ends up following her boyfriend to Harvard Law School, and in that process discovers that there's more to her than just appearance and relationships with social settings. And so that's kind of the fun of it, is her discovering that she can help people and kind of moving from a very self-centered approach to a selfless approach.
Okay, so I mean, the movie's classic, it's iconic. So talk about, for those who have seen the movie, who are very familiar with it, how does the stage show differ from the film production? Yeah,
well, I mean, very first, the big thing is we go from just dialogue to now incorporating musical numbers. So that's a big difference. But really, the plot follows the narrative of the movie pretty closely on the stage. There is some reducing of locations and stuff to do on stage, but we follow the map from UCLA into Harvard campus, and then to a nail salon for those that are familiar with the movie and like Paulette, she's there, and we get all of that experience there. There's a little bit difference in the court scene, kind of a lot more is dramatized in the stage version than what is just talked about in the movie.
Right. So you mentioned you got this done in about 4.5 weeks, you said. So yeah, it is a tremendously large show. A lot of numbers, a lot of choreography, sets and props and such. So talk about that process, taking this really elaborate stage show and kind of squeezing that production time down.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a unique situation in how the calendar kind of laid out. But again, as we talked about, looking at this as being an educational opportunity for students, kind of the great thing that I'm proud of is that we've given stuff tasked for these students, and they've risen to the occasion of just putting all effort and focus into putting it together. I'm also the scenic designer on this, and so kind of being able and being in charge of the direction and how the staging is going, I kind of scaled some things down in the scenery to make it more fluid and a lot more expressionistic in what the sets are instead of kind of photorealistic. And so that was one way that I helped kind of reduce the build time as far as scenery for such a short rehearsal process.
So kind of give us a rundown on the cast itself, the cast of characters, and who's going to be playing these very wide array of characters here.
Yeah, so that's another thing that's unique about this show. I mean, even with the movie, there's a lot of characters in the film, and there's a lot of characters in the stage production. I've reduced some of that and allowed students to play multiple parts instead of having individuals, and so it makes it a really tight ensemble group of students that are coming together and playing all of these parts. We have a young lady from White House that is playing Elle. It was kind of funny. She's not a natural blonde. That's kind of the title of the thing, but she came in and she's very talented. very good student that has really poured a lot into this, and it's fun for her to be a part of it. We've got several students from around here in Tyler that some of you guys, if you've seen theater in Tyler, you've probably seen them on stage before, but we also have some folks from Africa. I mean, that's the beauty of TJC. We've got international students that are involved in this. It's a really great group.
Okay, so I know from my time working on the show, you know, the songs are fantastic, and they take very key elements from the movie and make them full-blown songs. But of all of them, I know which one got stuck in my head from day one, and it's still to this day I will just sing to myself absent-mindedly. Which one was it for you?
Well, it's funny because, again, shortened period. What's really getting stuck in my head is not necessarily my favorite, but there's a song in there called Serious. It's time to get serious. And every morning when my alarm goes off in the morning, wake up and that pops into my head. It's like, time to get serious. It's kind of like focus on the job at hand. So that's the one that's really kind of tracked through this whole rehearsal process with me. Yeah, but there's a lot of fun songs, and you guys in the audience, y'all are gonna love. I mean, they're very catchy, but you know, as you said, they tie to the movie, and it's a lot of fun.
It's a great show. It really, really is. I enjoy being a part of it. I enjoy like watching it. I've enjoyed hearing the album from the Broadway cast recording. But for me though, I'll start singing "Oh My God, You Guys" over and over. Several years on now, I still get stuck in my head. So it's a very catchy show. So talk about the actual performances, when it opens, when you can see it.
Yeah, so we open tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. In the newly renovated Rogers Palmer Performing Arts Center there on TJC campus. It's every night, Wednesday through Saturday at 7:30 p.m. The box office, we have online tickets that you can purchase or reserve anytime. If you want to buy or you know, look at seats in person, the box office is open from 1 to 6 p.m. Every day this week.
All right. Well, Mr. Davis, appreciate your time today. Break a leg on the show. We look forward to seeing more from you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Have a good day.